Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energies. With all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. So we do have the Page of Pentacles, we do have the Two of Swords, and then we also have the Six of Wands. Virgo, this feels like somebody that you're energetically connected with. So this could definitely represent a family member. This could represent a friend, possibly even a romantic interest. But I feel like there's somebody here that clearly wants to talk to you. There's somebody here who clearly has been trying to essentially get your attention. But with the Two of Swords coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you're ignoring whoever this person is. I think that you know there's somebody that clearly wants to talk to you. I think that you know that there's somebody who's clearly trying to get your attention. You're just choosing to, again, just ignore this person. So it's not that you're unaware, you know what I mean? That you got somebody here who clearly wants to talk to you and is clearly trying to get your attention. It's not that you're like unaware, because I am getting that you are fully aware. You're just choosing, you know what I mean, to not call this person back. You're just choosing to not text this person back. You're just choosing, you know, to give this person the cold shoulder / silent treatment. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Ten of Swords. So it does appear to me that things came to an end between you and whoever this person is that wants to talk to you or is trying to essentially get your attention. Things did definitely come to an end here. Between you and this person. Of course, you and this person could have ended things on a really, really bad note. You know, that could very well be the case for some of you out there. But needless to say, whatever relationship you did have with this person in the past, it essentially came to an end. And this could just simply represent somebody that you were friends with. Well, it just kind of looks like your friendship with this person came to an end for whatever reason, or your relationship with this person came to an end for whatever reason. Okay, how does this person currently view this relationship with Virgo? Ooh. We have the Three of Swords, we got the Devil out here, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Yikes. Okay, well, Virgo, it does appear to me that this treatment that you're essentially giving them, it truly does essentially hurt them. It truly does, you know, make this person feel like you just simply don't care about them or, you know, what you once upon a time had with them is basically what I'm gathering. With the Wheel of Fortune coming out here, that's kind of telling me that this relationship between the two of you just hasn't, just honestly hasn't been playing out in this person's favor, you know, whatsoever. It just hasn't been playing out in their favor, which is something that I do feel like they're also extremely upset about, that this relationship between the two of you just hasn't been playing out in their favor, or at least the way that they want it to essentially play out is basically what I'm gathering. But I am definitely getting that even though their relationship with you, Virgo, didn't necessarily play out in their favor or play out the way that they essentially wanted it to, I am definitely getting that because, right, you refuse to speak to them, because you're choosing to give them the cold shoulder / silent treatment, because you're choosing to essentially ignore them. That also has this person feeling some type of way, you know, needless to say, it does have this person feeling some type of way. It has this person feeling like you just simply don't care about them and you never really cared about them, or this relationship the two of you once upon a time had with one another. And that truly does hurt this person. That truly does hurt this person, you know, that you're refusing to essentially speak to them, you know, things of that nature. Because all it's really doing is causing them to fall into this energy of like, wow, I guess Virgo really doesn't love me. I guess Virgo really doesn't care about me. I guess I never really mattered to Virgo after all. Look, they don't, you know, they refuse to talk to me. You know, it has that type of feel to it. How does Virgo currently feel? Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Nine of Cups, and then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Pentacles. All right, I just kind of feel like the energy that you're basically giving this person in particular is the energy that you want to essentially receive right back from them. Okay. For some of you, you might even have Scorpio within your chart, but then again, Virgo and Scorpio were once upon a time one. So it kind of makes sense as to kind of why you're coming off very Scorpionic like, because that's how Scorpios typically respond towards, people from their past that tend to resurface back up here, for them. So the response and the reaction that we're kind of seeing from you is very Scorpionic like, to be honest. But as far as like you wanting this person to reciprocate that same old energy back to you, in return, just how you've essentially left this person alone the moment this, marriage, relationship, friendship, whatever have you, came to an end. You want this person to just reciprocate that back to you in return. In other words, just like you don't contact them, you don't want them contacting you. Just like you don't bother them, you don't want this person essentially bothering you. Just like you move forward and moved on with your life, you want this person to turn around and do the exact same thing. You just want this person to reciprocate that same old energy that you're essentially giving them in return. That's all you essentially want. And it kind of looks like this person just hasn't been doing that. You may have been leaving this person alone, but this person hasn't been leaving you alone. You haven't been bothering this person. And the fact that this person finds themselves essentially bothering you, you just don't appreciate that. You just want this person to reciprocate that same energy that you're basically giving them in return. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I think it's safe to say, Virgo, you don't really want anything to do with this person. I think it's safe to say that. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that. How does this person feel? Okay, let's see. We have the Page of Swords, we have the Emperor, and then we also have the Five of Pentacles. So in regards to how this person is currently feeling about you and their relationship with you, just based off of, the way that, you've been, I guess, responding or reacting towards them, has this person essentially feeling like, you're dead serious about moving forward and moving on with your life and wanting absolutely nothing to essentially do with them. Like I said, all of this truly does hurt this person, as far as like you ignoring them is concerned, wanting nothing to do with them, is concerned. And even though it truly does hurt this person that you're responding and reacting this way towards them, it just kind of looks like this person's being forced to accept things that they don't want to essentially accept, which is Virgo just simply doesn't love me anymore. Virgo just simply doesn't care about me anymore. Virgo just simply doesn't want anything to do with me anymore. So these are hard things that this person, is being forced to unfortunately accept when it comes down to you, Virgo. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? So we do have the Knight of Pentacles, we do have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we also have the Star out here. I don't see you taking any sort of actions in this person's direction, Virgo, whatsoever. I do see you choosing to kind of keep things as is, right, between the two of you, which is basically over. I also see you continuing to ignore this person and just simply give this person the cold shoulder / silent treatment. So I don't really see anything progressing or getting better and or changing between you and this person from your past. And it's primarily because you're choosing to kind of keep things as is, right, between you and this person, which is just simply over. Now with the Ace of Pentacles to the Star, to the Knight of Pentacles, to the Ace of Wands, to the Six of Cups, to the Magician coming out here, there is a possibility, Virgo, that the reason why you're choosing to kind of keep things as is between you and this person has a lot to do with, yes, you not wanting anything to do with them, but it also has a lot to do with you just simply wanting to move forward and move on, with your life. And I am definitely getting that it is with somebody else. Yeah, it is with someone else. Right now, I see you very focused on a whole nother connection. And it could be somebody fairly new that you're focusing on, Virgo, or it could just be somebody that you've been dealing with for quite some time now. With the Six of Cups, it could definitely represent, a relationship between two people that have a lot of history with one another. If you don't have a lot of history with this person, Virgo, I just kind of feel like this is somebody who makes you feel like you've known them your whole entire life, even though technically speaking, you haven't, okay? So there's a strong possibility possibility that you and this person could have shared maybe past lives with one another, especially if this is like a fairly new connection. It already has you feeling like you've known this person your whole entire life, even though technically speaking you haven't. But this could also imply that you know, find yourself connecting with somebody that you do have a lot of history with. But it just kind of looks like that's what you're doing moving forward. It's just focusing on a whole nother, you know, relationship, regardless if it's with somebody new or somebody that you already have a lot of history with. If you do have a lot of history with this person, this could definitely represent like a reconciliation, you know, energy between you and this person from your past. And what I mean by you and this person from your past, I don't mean this person, okay? I do not mean this person. It's definitely someone else from your past. For those of you who are for those of you who are reconciling with someone from your past. Okay, so we do have the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords, and then we also have the Four of Pentacles. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Tower. Okay. All right. In regards to how this person plans on moving forward, this to me kind of feels like phases that they're essentially going through. So let me break it all down. Because you're refusing to speak to this person, because you're continuing to give this person the cold shoulder / silent treatment. Like I said, Virgo, it does kind of have this person feeling you just don't care. You just don't care about them and the relationship that you guys once upon a time had with one another. And that truly does hurt this person. It truly does, you know, affect this person greatly and severely is basically what I'm gathering. But I do see this person falling into this energy of basically deciding to like keep their distance from you, as well as stay away from you and not bother to essentially contact you about absolutely anything. But there is going to come a point in time where this person's going to essentially cave in again and extend themselves to you. But it is stemming from a place of them essentially feeling like they essentially need closure in order to essentially move forward and move on with their life. But be honest, Virgo, when this person does extend themselves to you seeking closure, I don't see you giving them the closure that this person essentially wants, okay? You know, from you. They just want to have a closure conversation with you. It is basically what I'm gathering. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, Virgo. When this person does contact you and, you know, they hit you up and they say, hey, Virgo, listen, you know, the only reason why I'm calling you, the only reason why I'm texting you is because I need closure. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I think that this person wants closure? Sure, but do I also think that this person would love nothing more for the two of you to get back together? Absolutely. So it's a combo of both. They're just not gonna make it seem that way initially at first to you. Like they're not gonna make it seem like the reason why they're calling you is because they miss you and they want to get back with you. They're not gonna make it seem that way initially at first. They're gonna make it seem like they're only calling you because they need closure. They're only texting you because they need closure. I do feel like to a certain extent, that is definitely the case. You know, I do believe that this person feels like in order for them to move forward and move on with their life, they need closure. But do I think that that's all they want? I wouldn't go as far as to say all of that. You know what I mean? I do believe this person does want a reconciliation, you know, with you. But here's the thing, Virgo. I don't see you giving them the closure moral of the story, okay, that they essentially want. I don't see you giving them that whatsoever. And once this person sees that you're not really even bothering to essentially give them the closure that they essentially want, they're going to find themselves essentially feeling like they continue to put themselves in predicaments that hurt them time and time and time again in reference to you. So every time, for example, this person contacts you and you turn around and give them the cold shoulder / you know, silent treatment, you don't respond to them, that's hurting them. That's, you know, them unfortunately putting themselves in predicaments to essentially get hurt, you know, by you. And then when this person attempts to contact you again, and then you turn around and you give them that same old treatment, the cold shoulder / silent treatment, that's them putting themselves in that predicament yet again to get hurt and disappointed as well as let down, you know, by you. And they're going to start to essentially realize that they continue to put themselves in predicaments in reference to you that ends up leaving them extremely hurt and disappointed. So moving forward, instead of this person contacting you, they're going to choose not to contact you, because the likelihood of them getting hurt and disappointed in the end is very, very likely to happen, because that's basically what you're showing them is going to essentially end up happening. You're just going to turn around and give them the cold shoulder / silent treatment. So to avoid getting let down and disappointed by you because you choose to, I guess, continue to give this person a cold shoulder / silent treatment, they're going to avoid doing that in the future. Now, do I see this person in the future caving in and extending themselves to you again? And it is stemming from a place of them wanting closure, but it's also kind of stemming from a place of them wanting a reconciliation with you. Yes. But after that, when you turn around and decide to give them the cold shoulder and not have that closure conversation with them, Virgo, I think that that's when this person's going to realize that they need to stop putting themselves in these predicaments to continue to get hurt and disappointed by you, because you keep showing this person that you don't want to talk to them, that you don't want anything to do with them. And it's just a matter of them believing what you're essentially showing them and accepting what it is that you're showing them, even if it might hurt, because it does hurt. I'm not gonna lie, like, it does hurt this person that you refuse to speak to them. It does hurt this person that you refuse to give them closure. It does hurt this person that you want nothing to do with them. All of these things hurt this person. Like, truly, it truly does hurt this person. But I do see them eventually accepting the fact that you're done, which is going to hurt. And it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but you know, I see them accepting the fact that you're done with them and that you don't want anything to do with them. And even though this, like I said, Virgo, might be like a very tough and difficult pill for this person to swallow, I do see this person doing that. And I do see this person eventually reaching this point of deciding to not, you know, continue to essentially bother when it comes down to getting that closure that they want from you, having that talk that they essentially want, you know, with you. I just see this person, you know, moving forward, choosing to just not continue to put themselves in that predicament, because they already know what's going to end up happening. You're going to turn around and give them the cold shoulder, and then they're going to end up feeling the way that they feel, and then they're going to end up, you know, feeling extremely hurt and disappointed in the end. So to them, it's like, why bother? You know what I mean? Why bother? So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.